All right, so you are a salesperson and you happen to be selling insurance. So, which means we want these people to buy our product. However, we also have a responsibility to make sure that we're giving people proper coverage and things like that. So it's a fiduciary responsibility is what you have if you remember that from licensing. Anyways, so there's going to be times where I want to lead people a certain way because I want to get the sale. So for example, if you're in a situation where you know that uninsured motorist coverage is really expensive, but then you have to walk that line of how do I pitch the fact that I don't want them to get this because I want to, I know we charge too much for that as a company, but I want to get the sale. I'm going to tell you how to do it. So I'm going to give you two examples on how to pitch uninsured motorist. The first one being where I do want them to get it, and the second one where I don't want them to get it. And I want you to think how you can see how the customer is going to fall right into this. So the do want to get uninsured motorist. So listen, Mr. Customer, we do offer a benefit. It is the most amazing coverage that you can have with us. We call it uninsured motorist, and what that means is if you're hit by someone who doesn't have insurance, it's going to cover you for your injuries. It's also going to cover you for lost wages and pain and suffering. In my state, it does all that. You need to have that. I absolutely recommend it. Is it okay if I put that on? And if I say that in the right way, the customer is going to want to lean forward and do whatever I say. I'm the expert. I'm the insurance agent. So I'm going to do the same coverage, and this time I'm going to talk my customer out of it. So listen, Mr. Customer, we do offer uninsured motorists. It is amazing coverage. However, it adds a lot of money to your premium, and honestly, most people in your situation just wouldn't want to pay that much more. So it adds about $170 every 6 months to your price. Would you want me to increase your policy like that? So you can see the way I presented those two options, there's no way that the second one, I shouldn't say no way, but it's very unlikely that they're going to want it the way I presented it. So you as a salesperson have the control and have the ability to influence the way your people are thinking about things, and that is how you can do it. So you can absolutely lead them in a way. I'm going to do the same thing with deductibles. Listen, sir, you absolutely want to make sure that you have a very low deductible. That way, if you were to have a claim, you don't have to come up with that much out of pocket. That makes sense, right? And I'm going to get that person to go, yeah, that makes sense. Whereas if let's say I got a 22-year-old driving a Camaro SS or something. All right, man, I got your deductibles. I'm going to put them at a level what's going to make it a lot more affordable for you. As long as you don't have accidents, this is going to save you a lot more money in the long run. That would make sense to you, wouldn't it? And then the customer obviously is going to do whatever I tell them to do. So I'm never saying trick your customer. I'm never saying don't tell them about the coverages. At some point, remember, we're just quoting at this point, and I want to get them on board. At some point, when you sell it, you're going to cover the call ending checklist, and you're going to go over every single coverage line by line and remind them about it. But right now, on the quoting stage, you want to make sure that they're just on board and they're going to buy your product. Later on, you're going to give them all the fine details and you're going to get into that. But for right in the quoting stage, just give them what they need to know in order to say yes. And then, like I said, tie it up later when you're going over the call ending checklist.